Hello everyone, it's Amy and welcome back for another Market Monday. I apologize for the shadows. I'm having to videotape this in my dining room and I can't get rid of the shadows. So the shadow right here is my phone, which I'm recording with, so I can't get rid of that. But I have 5 kits today. They're from the recycle store. They're all the same. And they're a little bit of a mix. There's some double-sided sticky and some single-sided sticky. And this is what the kit will look like when you open it up. So we'll just start right here at the top. We have got, these are little velvet circles. They are sticky on the back. And, well, really fiddly this morning. They have this little tab on each side, and so I normally just cut that tab off, but I use these on the bottom of jars. You peel off the plastic on the back, and they're very sticky. All of these things come from different factories that donate them to a recycle center that resells them then, and they use it. It's a nonprofit for children. So there's just a little baggie full of these. I don't know how many are in there, but there's a nice little amount of those. And then we have these little tabs, and these, I believe, are double-sided sticky. And so, yep, they are black center, and you peel off each side, and each side is sticky. So you can use that for lots of different things. I use them to stick on a project to pop things up. I use them to put glitter on. If I put them on a page and then I put glitter on them, and use them for decoration that way. You can use eyeshadow. They look really good with eyeshadow on them. But then we have these little half circles, and these were, I don't have any extras of these, so I don't have any kind of sample or anything. Well, I don't have many samples today anyways. So, but these are also sticky on each side, black core, and what would you use them for? I'm not really sure. For some reason, they kind of remind me of an eye peeking over a wall. I don't know why. But there's 3 of those. And then we have some little, we got 5 of these double-sided stickies. They have a little tab to grab a hold of. These are white inside. So, and then we have 5 of these, and these ones I believe are black inside. Yep, these are black inside, so they're double-sided sticky. And then we have a little baggie of these strips that are double-sided sticky. And I believe that they are gray inside. They're not all exactly the same size. Some are a little skinnier than others. And let me just kind of check. Yep, they're gray inside. So we've got those. These work really great to pop up sentiments. You cut a sentiment out and then put it on there so that it just pops off your project a little bit. That really just, that little extra dimension really helps on cards and any kind of different projects. So we have got some of these double-sided sticky circles, and they are black inside. And these I use to make Christmas ornaments on cards, and I don't usually use the big ones on cards. I usually make more of plaques with those, use them for Christmas presents. We have got some of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, there's 10 of those. And these are double-sided sticky. These work great for die cutting. If you have the steel rule dies, these are gray in the center, and you can cut some pretty large things out of that. And then I also have, there's some here that are white. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8 of those. And these are double-sided sticky with a white core in the center. Again, great for die cutting or popping something up that you don't want to get like smashed back down again. And then we have, these are double-sided sticky strips. They're just long, little teeny tiny strips. They're black core. And there's 3 of these. Each one has some strips on it. They may not all be exactly the same. Looks like there's 6 on these. Some of them might have 5, some of them might have 7. It just depends on how they came when the factory cut them off. But those are really nice. They're probably about 6 inches long. And then I'm going to set these aside for a second because I do have a sample for that one. And then we have these. These are only sticky on one side, and they're a type of kind of rubber, foam rubber with a shiny top. I think these are really cool. What I do is I peel this off and I stick acetate on it. I usually take, it all depends on, these are small, so I would probably cut off 4. Put acetate on one side. Then I would fill that with things and then glue a piece of colored cardstock to this side so that when you flipped it over, in each of the little windows, you would see whatever you put in the window. I just think that that's really fun to do that. And I stick the acetate to the sticky side because it's, you know, such a heavy sticky, it's going to stick to the acetate. And then we've got a set of 1 strip of this, and these are the little honeycomb shapes. They're sticky on the other side, so you can stick them on cardboard and make patterns to do your own stamps with. These are, there's 5 little strips. They're sticky on the back side, so you can take those off of there and use them in your mixed media art. So there's 3 little pieces of that. There are a couple of the black honeycomb shapes. Again, they're sticky on the back, so you can peel those off. And these I believe are pretty much the same size. Then we have these sticky on the back, and these have an oval in the center, and then the outside is separate. So you've got 2 pieces here. These I like to use kind of like a frame to frame something in my projects. And the let me get that back right because I didn't have any extras of these to show you what to do with them. The outside ones each have on each end, if you can see, maybe not, but there's a little circle also punched out right there. So you've got the little circle, you've got this outside, and you've got the inside. So there's 3 of those. And what I did was I just found what I had of them and then just split them up between the 5 packages. There are 2 of these. These are kind of like Fun Foam, and they're sticky on the back. So I do have something I'm going to show you to do with those. There are a couple of these. These are more of a shiny top, but you should be able to probably use these as a stamp also. And they're sticky on the back, so you can use them as they are to stamp, or you can you know, cut them into pieces and place them on a cardboard. The nice thing is the sticky on the back really holds well. There are some pieces of cork. These are not all exactly the same size. They're different sizes. Some are a little bigger, some are a little smaller. You know, like here's a smaller one, and then this one is kind of bigger. So you can kind of see there's a difference between the 2. But there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 8 pieces of that. So that's cork with sticky on the back. You can punch those or cut them with your die cutting machines. There are a couple of large tubes. I use these tubes. I cut them into different lengths. I don't use them this long, but I'll cut a length, and then I put a bead cap on the top with a wire through it. I put beads on that wire, and then where it's cut, then I put a bead cap on the bottom, and then put a loop in my wire on the top and on the bottom, and I use them for keychains. You could use them for all sorts of things, but these are fun because they have a nice big hole. They're nice and thick and sturdy, but you can fit bigger beads in here. I do it with small tubing also, but you have to like use seed beads. So this one you can use better, well, not better beads, but bigger beads. And then there's a little package of these, and these are hard plastic, and I use these as charms. And they are hard plastic, shiny on both sides. They're not sticky at all. I punch a little hole in the top, put a jump ring through it, and then I use alcohol inks or permanent markers to color them, and I put words on them, and then I use them to hang on my purse or to hang on a journal. So these are, I really like those, but I use them in place of, you know, I use them like a large charm is what I use those for. So that is what comes in the kit. I'm going to show you what you can do with these couple of different things, the squares, and oh, I didn't even show you these. Okay, so these come on a strip like this, and what this is, and I'm not sure if you can see it, but I'm going to show you how to use it. There is a half circle here, a half circle here, and an oval in the middle. These work great to make dragonflies, butterflies, or dragonfly and butterfly stamps. I use them both ways. I use them right on my cards, or I use them to stamp with. And they are very fun to play with. So I'm just going to really quickly put all of this back in here so that I can move it out of the way. And try and get it so that it will fit back in here nicely. I do try and package them so that they hopefully don't come in a big old mess. So I get them in here and put them in the folder, and then make sure that I press all the air out of the priority package as much as I can, so that it doesn't get too messed up. Alrighty, so just a couple things that you can do with those, with a couple of the things that are in there. So the big square ones that I said, these are like fun foam. Now you can punch these if you have a thick punch. This is called a thick punch, and a regular punch might do it too. But I like to use them like to make background stamps. So I just kind of like center it and punch it out. Now the thing is what you've punched out, this now also will make a stamp. So you can, but I like to use this kind of as a background stamp. And so I just kind of punch it all the way around, and I punch it with my Crop-A-Dile because it will reach far. But I don't always punch the center anyways. In the one that I have right now, I did not punch the center, but you can punch those out, so then you can use your punches as stamps. And even the little punches that you punch out of your, with your hole punch, you can take those and you can put those on a piece of cardboard. I like to use those in mixed media on a project that is 3D. And so I'm just going to set these aside and show you how that works. And then I'm going to show you how to make this little dragonfly. You can also make butterflies. And that is with, I just cut myself a littler piece of cardboard here. So that's made with these. You have 3 strips of these. And so what you do is you peel these off, and then there's the oval in the middle, and then the 2 half circles, or whatever you want to call those, around the edges. Now when you separate them carefully. I usually kind of grab it by it's cut in the middle here for the 2 half rounds. And so I normally, see, I pulled that apart. So you have to be careful when you take them apart. I wasn't paying any attention, to make sure, because the whole thing is all stuck together when they put it on there. So you want to make sure that you carefully separate it. And then I use this for the body, and I use these for the wings. Now, if I'm making a card or something, then I just put them on there like this. And then I usually paint them. If I am making a stamp, then I usually put layers on them. Now this one I just ripped the center off. So they are delicate, so you have to be careful with them once you get them on your, it's because they're very thin, which makes them perfect for cards. Because they are not real super thick, so you don't have to worry about that. And then when you put the wings down, press down one of the legs, and then kind of, turn it to where you want it, because I like to put them just a little bit closer together instead of, that one's pretty straight, but see, this one is kind of rounded in. So, and once you get them down, they're pretty stuck, so they're not as easy to, you can, move them around, but that's not as easy, and they probably won't stick as well because they kind of want to peel your cardboard right up with themselves. There we go. So you do it like that, and you can do it on a card, and then just take a pen and just kind of go swoosh, swoosh for the antennas with a little dot at the end of the swoosh, and it makes a really cute card. So here I have one that has 3 layers. The reason it has 3 layers is because the second layer that I put on of the body had a wrinkle right down the center, and I didn't want that to show up in my stamping, so I put a 3rd layer on top. You've got 3 little strips of this, so that gives you something to play with. And I will show you how they stamp. I grabbed just an ink here, And I think this is a pigment ink. What is it? This is a chalk ink. So, but, you know, any kind of ink. I just grabbed one that I knew had some ink on it. And then you just put it on there. When you cut your cardboard, you want to cut it, you know, pretty close to your stamp. Whoops. So, you know, oh, good. I thought I just got a whole bunch of ink on there. And then you just stamp it. Give it a little press. You're not pressing hard. You're just making sure that the whole stamp comes into contact. And then you let it sit there for kind of just a second to let that ink soak into your paper. And there we go. You've got the little dragonfly. So, but I think that these are really, really cute. I wish I had a stamp here to kind of show you the antennas, but put a lighter one over here for a stamp off. And they just turn out great. So then the ones where you can punch them like this, or you can cut those up and use them. This is what I peeled off the other one, and I'm going to use that for some mixed media. And this is the one that I punched hearts, and then I punched holes with my hole punch. And I'm just going to put some ink on here. And normally with this large of a stamp, the easiest way to ink it is to take the ink pad to the stamp instead of trying to take the stamp to the ink pad. I'm sure I probably got that on there well enough. I'm just going to put it right over here. And again, just give it a press, not a heavy press, more of a little massage. And then just lift that off of there. And that really makes, it makes a really pretty card also. You can use them and then just cut around them, pop them up with some of your double-sided sticky. And with this one, I didn't do anything in the center because I wanted to be able to put a sentiment or something in the center. So, alrighty. So that's what you can do with these. And also, you can turn these into a stamp. Just stick them on a piece of cardboard. And we'll see how this one looks. Just going to put that on there. You can also use it on a card or anything like that. I'm not going to trim around it really well, so hopefully I don't get too much ink around the outside edge. And then just give it a little bit of a press. And there we go. So that is what you can do with just a couple of the things that are in the package. You know, your imagination is the limit. So I try and give you a little here or there of what you can do with these things, but you can do whatever it is that you can think of with these. They're just, it's a fun project fun things to play with, and they're different than the same as what everyone else has. So thank you very much for stopping by. If you are interested, the kit is $20. It is PayPal only, United States only, because the shipping is included in the $20. And if you are interested, my email address will be below. Just send me an email. The first 5 people to email me I will let you know, and then you can pay. And I will send the kits out on Thursday. I do have 2 kits still left from last week. Last week was a craft store kit, so it had craft store items instead of the recycle items. If you're interested, you can go look at those. But thank you very much for stopping by. I really do appreciate you, and I hope that you all have an outstanding day. Bye-bye.